can President Trump run for office all over again in 2024 if he loses to Joe Biden? And the answer to this, shockingly, is yes, he can absolutely run again in 2024, and he would likely become the Republican nominee. So they would just push him to the forefront all over again, and he would run for office just like it was 2016. Okay, and you could verify this yourself. It's part of the 22nd Amendment that allows a president, okay, it allows a president to serve 2 terms in office, but those terms do not have to be consecutive, meaning that he doesn't have to serve those terms back to back. He could lose a term, right? He could serve in office like he is now, and then he can lose. If he loses to Biden, he could lose that term. And then he could run for office again and then get back into the White House and complete that second term. So they don't have to be consecutive. Okay, and has this ever happened before? Yeah, it actually happened before. It happened with our 22nd president of the United States. It was Grover Cleveland, right? He was our 22nd president of the United States of America. He ran for office, won, became the 22nd president of the U.S., and then he proceeded to lose to, I believe it was Harrison. Okay, he lost to Harrison when he was up for re-election. He lost to a new opponent, Harrison. So Harrison served for 4 years, and then Grover Cleveland came back and ran again and won, and he served his second term. Okay, and Grover Cleveland was a Democrat, so he was the only U.S. president in history that served 2 terms that were not consecutive, according to the 22nd Amendment. And he was a Democrat, so if Trump did it and he won again in 2024, he would become the first Republican to take advantage of the 22nd Amendment and serve 2 terms that are not consecutive. So a lot of the Dems who've been asking this question, who really just want to get rid of Trump, yeah, it might, I mean, if he wins again in 2024, which I think he would, and I think he will run again. I mean, his campaign manager, Steve Bannon, or his former campaign manager and former counselor, Steve Bannon, has admitted that he plans to run again in 2024 if he loses. So if you wanted him out of your hair, probably would have been better just let him run and then never see him again if you don't like Trump, right? But looks like you're going to deal with him for the next 4 years. Even if Biden becomes president, Trump's going to be tweeting. He's going to be bashing every single thing that Biden does. I mean, admittedly, because, anybody would do the same. So yeah, you're still going to deal with him all the way up until the 2024 election. And then if he gets reelected, you got to deal with him until 2028, assuming you don't like Trump. If you do, then you're like, yes. On top of that, make no mistake about it. I mean, Trump really is forming a dynasty. If you don't think Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, even Ivanka Trump, there's been whispers that she may run in the future. If you don't think that they're going to form like a presidential dynasty, you're living under a rock, because a lot of the things he's doing now is setting it up for his kids to run for office when he's gone, when he's too old, right? And even for people who are like, no, he'll be too old by 2024. No, actually, he'll be the same age that Biden is now. And I am imagining he'll be much more coherent because as you know, Biden has, it's kind of falling apart up here, right? My grandmother had Alzheimer's, dementia, and he's definitely showing those signs that I saw in my grandmother early on, even later on when it started to transgress. So I don't even know how long, if he wins, I don't know how long he's going to be able to remain in office. However, for you people asking, can Trump run again in 2024? Yes, he can absolutely run again. You could look it up yourself. It's a 22nd Amendment, right? It's happened before in U.S. history. Grover Cleveland again. He was a 22nd president of the United States, and then he was the 24th president of the United States. So he was 22nd, and then the 23rd was Harrison, because he beat him when he tried to get reelected. Harrison beat him, and he became the president, 23rd president. And then here comes Grover Cleveland coming right back and wins the election, and then becomes the 24th president of the United States. So you will very likely see President Trump, if he wins again in 2024, assuming that Biden loses and all this plays out the way that it looks like right now. So Trump being the 45th president of the United States right now, then Biden becoming the 26th president of the United States, Trump would again become the 47th president of the United States. So he would take 45 and 47, which would be an amazing note in history. I mean, if you're a history buff, this just doesn't happen. It really doesn't, right? It only happened once so far in U.S. history, and that happened way back in the late 1800s. So it's been over 100 years since this has actually happened in a presidential election. So that's my answer to that. For you people are asking, like, can Trump actually run again if he loses? You know, people want to get rid of him. The answer for you, unfortunately, is yes, he can run again and become president all over again, and you're going to have to deal with him and seeing him on television and dealing with his tweets and dealing with, you know, Trump being Trump for not only the next 4 years, but the next 8 years. Okay, so it's almost like he's going to continue to be president over the next 4 years, because you're going to kind of feel him just kind of breathing down your back like, shit, this guy's going to run again. His base is going to get stronger, because I tell you right now, his base, if he loses this, his base is going to be out there drumming up support. They're going to be looking at every little thing that Biden does wrong. I mean, rightfully so. Anybody would do the same thing. And they're just going to be picking him apart, just like the mainstream media picked apart Trump for the last 4 years, right? Everything he did was wrong, negative. Oh my gosh, isn't that? I mean, it's insane. If you look up headlines of Trump, I mean, I remember when, like, say, Obama was president, I just type in Obama and then click news, right? And then all the latest news would pop up, and I'd be like, oh, okay, da-da-da-da. It was like 99% positive. I can't even remember a single derogatory headline, even when he was doing things that was like, hey, man, dude, what's up with that? You know, there was nothing negative ever printed. Trump, daily, it's always something. Oh my God. Oh, he ate McDonald's today. He was on a plane. This is the second McDonald's. It's like, who gives a shit? It's like every little thing. Oh, his tie was totally out of place. It's like, are you kidding me? You know, it started to get annoying. And then that's when I really started to, I mean, if you thought the media was biased ever in your life, that should have confirmed it while Trump was in office. So just to wrap this up, for you people who hate Trump, or if you love Trump, right? This is good news for you. He's going to run again. And you're still going to see him. It's not like most presidents, when they lose, right? They kind of just disappear and they go away. You never hear from him again. You're going to hear from this dude you're going to hear from him for the next 4 years if Biden wins. He is not just going to disappear. He's not going to go hide out at the Trump Tower. He's going to be on the news. I mean, I suspect that the media will cover him more than they cover Biden, right? Not only as a distraction away from Biden's declining mental state, right? But also just because they know Trump gets ratings. He gets eyeballs. He gets viewership. So they're going to focus on him like, oh my God, look what Trump said today. Look this, look at that. You know, and I believe over the next 4 years, you're going to see even more of a shift towards away from the left, away from that party of cancel culture, SJW, social justice, care-based morality, emotions, feelings over facts, logic. People are just going to more and more, I mean, they already are, but more and more people are going to start getting turned off by that. You saw the huge Latino vote that went for Trump this election. I mean, AOC was even pissed off. She was like, oh my God, you traitors. You're not really Hispanic. You're not Hispanic. So she kind of pulled a Biden there. So yeah, like when Biden was like, hey, you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right? I got to use that. Be like, hey, if you're not in my program, you ain't doing pickup. Right? But in any case, yeah, Trump is not just going to disappear into oblivion. if Biden wins. I mean, you are definitely going to hear from this guy daily, over and over, and not just him, but his family. I mean, Donald Trump Jr. has a big following on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, right? He's constantly posting memes about the left, about Joe Biden. So, I mean, it's not just going to be Trump. It's going to be his family. It's going to be Eric Trump, his other son. It's going to be Ivanka. I mean, it's going to be his staff. He's going to keep his staff intact. Like his White House administration now, he's probably just going to keep them on his personal payroll to go out there and keep speaking for him like he's still president. So instead of just getting rid of him after the next 4 years, assuming you don't like Trump, you're going to deal with him until 2028. Minimum 2028. You're going to be hearing from this guy. So, so that's some positive light. If you are a Trump supporter and you feel like he might lose this election, there's positive light there for you that he will likely run again in 2024. Even if he tries to downplay it like he did right before he ran in 2016, tried to downplay it the whole time, then he catches people by surprise. And the next thing you know, like right around the time the Republicans are going to hold their convention for to nominate their, who's going to represent their, their branch, whatever you want to call it, right? Who's going to represent the Republicans? That's when he'll come out of the woodwork and be like, yo, I'm back. And I'm running back for office again. And then he'll just be able to gather up his entire support base, who are never really going to disappear. I mean, I've never seen a support base for a president so strong in my life. It's insane. He's like a rock star. I mean, he fills up stadiums more than a lot of rock stars do. If you've ever gone to a rock concert, the last time I've seen that many people in one place is like when Elvis had a concert. It's insane. So, yeah, definitely for sure. Make no mistake about it. He is going to run again in 2024 if he loses to Biden, and his base is still going to be there. And he can do it, right? According to the 22nd Amendment, he can legally run for office again because you can serve 2 terms. Okay? You can serve 2 terms as the president of the United States, but they don't need to be consecutive. Okay? So they don't need to be back and back. If you don't get reelected the second time, guess what? You can run again. You can run again for that second term you didn't get yet. That's the way it works. That's how the law works. That's how their 22nd Amendment works. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Let me know how you feel about this. If you love Trump, you're like, yeah, Trump train, baby. Drop your comment below. If you hate Trump, screw Trump, right? Drop your comment below. Let me know why. And yeah, so I'm going to wrap up here, guys. Until next time. This is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it for me, especially if you learned something new today, right? I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that a president can run again if he loses. You didn't know that, did you? But now you do. Some of you did. Maybe some of you did, right? You took civics class like I did. But that's where I first heard that. That's how I knew this whole time, like if he doesn't win, Trump definitely strikes me as the type who's going to run again, and he will. And he's just not going to go away. Okay. Unlike most presidents who go away, they disappear after you don't hear from them again. He's going to be there. Right. And even after 2028 and say he wins again and he's president until 2028, you're still going to hear from him because his family members are going to run and he's going to campaign for them. And he's building, like I said, a presidential dynasty right now, a presidential dynasty. Where his kids are going to take over. This is why he really is trying to get as much done as possible, right? I mean, you might not like him as a person. I personally do. I kind of like that attitude, right? I don't like these career politicians, totally tired of them. I like somebody who just is a business owner, who knows how to run the economy, who's ran businesses before, successful businesses, over a career politician who has a law degree from Harvard. A lot of these politicians that we elect a president, they have zero business experience, never even ran a hot dog stand, okay, never even ran a car wash, and we're trusting them with the U.S. economy. Insane. Why? Because they have a degree from Harvard, and they speak properly and they're more articulate. We don't need bullshit artists in the White House. We need somebody who's just going to get the job done. And of course, Trump does his share, but his share is more like rah, trying to pump you up and keep you positive, where a lot of these other politicians who kind of like BS and stuff like that, it's more to push their social narrative, which I don't like. So in any case, hope that answers your question. Can Trump run for office in 2024? Yes, he can. With that said, smash that like button below, drop a comment, and more importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Subscribe down below, okay? And if you want to get into my premium Alpha Male Secrets program, it's only $1, okay? It's only $1 for the entire first month of premium content like this, and it's the best way to support my work, best way to show that you love me and you want me to do more of these types of coaching videos. So jump into premium Alpha Male Secrets. Only $1 for the first month. The link is down below. It'll take you over to my website. You can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.